Good afternoon, or still good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the February 15th meeting of the Early Childhood Subcommittee on the House Ways and Means Committee. We have 4 bills on our agenda for today. We have 2 new bills and 2 bills that we tabled at our meeting last week. So I think we're going to start with the 2 new bills, starting with HB 825. This was a bill we heard yesterday from Delegate Adams that just simply changes the number of citizen representatives or community representatives on regional library boards from 1 to up to 2. This was something that the library systems was requesting. It's a pretty straightforward bill. But is there any questions or discussion on this bill?
I'll move favorable, Madam Chair.
Second.
Okay, moved by Delegate Ebersol, seconded by Delegate Long. Again, any further discussion on this pretty straightforward bill? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Great. That bill passes unanimously. So our next bill, we also heard yesterday, HB 662. This was the bill from Delegate Guyton that clarifies. I'll wait one moment. I see another member of the subcommittee is joining us. So HB 662, this is the bill from Delegate Guyton that clarifies the minimum age that a child care provider for a large family child care provider or center needs to be. In regulations, it currently says age 19, but the bill would change that to age 18. It doesn't change any of the other qualifications to otherwise be a child care provider. Any questions about HB 662?
Favorable.
Second.
Okay, moved by Delegate Grossman, seconded by Delegate Long. Again, any questions on this bill for minimum age for a child care provider? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
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 Okay, that was unanimous. HB 662 also moves out of the subcommittee favorably. Okay, so we'll go back to, we had 2 bills that we tabled at our meeting last week. I'll say on HB 208, which was another library bill, we are continuing to work out the amendments with the library system. Appreciate the state librarian is on the call today. Ms. Padilla, is there anything that you want to share at this point? Otherwise, we're I think still trying to work out some of the finer details on the amendments, but if there's anything you'd like to share today, we're all ears.
I think that there is enough proposed change in the amendment that I just want to make sure I have buy-in from the library community, and also that they're able to meet your expectations as far as making sure that parents and caregivers who borrow materials for minors on their cards actually don't have to pay fines. So we just want to work out the technical details. So I will get back to you early next week, or probably more closer to Tuesday, after I touch some more bases. And the group that I'm working with may want to meet with you, Chair Carr, and maybe Delegate Ebersol, since they dealt with him on the actual initial legislation. So we'll request your presence.
Great. That sounds good. Happy to meet with them. And hopefully we'll, be able to get this, these few details sorted out here and then bring the bill back next week to put on the voting list. So sounds good. Thank you for your help and engagement.
All right.
All right. So then, colleagues, that brings us to our last bill for the day, HB 25, which we held at the last meeting. This is the bill sponsored by Delegate Mangione in regards to materials in public school libraries. We did have an unfavorable motion and a second at the last meeting, and I don't believe procedurally we need to remove those. But Delegate Henson, I'll turn to you since you had requested the hold on the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for holding the bill, for the opportunity to review it. I agree with my colleague from Baltimore City that it ultimately is the responsibility of the sponsor of the bill to make sure that it's postured in a position where the committee could take action if the committee chose. I haven't seen any amendments or anything from the sponsor that would rectify some of those constitutional issues, but I do appreciate the opportunity for further review. But with that being said, I'm prepared to vote today.
Okay, great.
Question. I have a question.
Thank you. Delegate Long, did you wish to be recognized?
Yeah, I like. I
Yes,
have
go
a
right ahead.
question. Was a sponsor notified of these changes need to be made to this bill in order to be heard today?
Just to clarify, so we don't have any amendments before us. The motion at the meeting last week was for an unfavorable on the bill.
Right, but there was a mention that he didn't address any of the concerns of this subcommittee from last week. Was he given the opportunity to amend his bill amend this bill? Was he notified they needed to make some changes so we could vote for it or against it, either way?
I did not reach out specifically to him, but of course our meetings are public, and this bill was listed on our agenda for last week's meeting. So he would have had the opportunity. I don't want to speak for anyone else in the subcommittee, but personally, I don't think that there is anything to salvage in this bill, at least from my own personal perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion before we vote on the unfavorable motion? Okay, seeing no hands raised, so those in favor of the unfavorable, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so the unfavorable motion carries. Colleagues, with that, we have cleared the deck for the time being for early childhood. Thank you all for your participation today. We'll see you in full committee later. We are adjourned.
Thank you.